the umbrella of public interest and transparency in good governance is sufficiently wide to cover all public officials. In fact, if you draw a distinction between certain public officials who are under an obligation to file their SAL-N under the requirements imposed by law, and those who are not so obliged, you might be drawing a false distinction which will not be sustained by the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution. I would go even further than that. Why don't we include at this point of our bill a provision on the mandatory disclosures of the total monthly incomes of all public officials from the highest to the lowest? We can impose that function on the Civil Service Commission. In other words, let us compare by digital means the total remuneration or income, not just the basic standard salary, but all the allowances and other forms of income given by an agency to a certain head and other higher officials of that agency, so that we can compare the president in salary and income, for example, and total income with that of the lowest janitor in Malacanang. Why do we have to keep it a secret on what is the basic salary and other entitlements of a senator in the form of certain allowances, commissions, and specific allowances, or maintenance, operating, and other expenses? What is so special about being a senator? Just because you make laws does not mean that we can distinguish ourselves from the rest of the citizenry. So let's have a column available on the proper website, perhaps of the Civil Service Commission, that bases itself on the principle that total income equals the basic salary plus all the possible allowances and sources of personal income. We should define and make a distinction between public and personal use of the funds, where we consider income as equal to remuneration. Are you in favor of that? Because I will propose it as an amendment. I-publish na natin magkano talaga inuwi natin, even only on a paper basis, because of course they will have to deduct withholding taxes, etc. Magkano talaga on paper ang remuneration ng bawat opisyal, presidente, vice-presidente, senators, cabinet members, justices, judges, the military especially with their confidential funds or intelligence funds, or law enforcement agencies with that nature of funds. Why don't we all classify and publish it, so we don't have to go scurrying around from dark corner to dark corner as if we were rats? Why don't we just expose it all to the public, so that the public, when it is election time, can go to that website and see, so A is running for senator, this is what he will receive, and compare the qualifications of the candidate with what he will be receiving. Why don't we do that? Will the honorable sponsor be amenable?
Yes.
To this kind of an amendment?
Mr. President, I'm grateful for that support. In fact, I am glad that our senator was able to shed light also on her opinion regarding the matter and to expound on it, in fact, because I think that salaries, being transparent about it, well, they can probably, the reaction can be twofold. I mean, one side can say, yan lang ba ang kinikita ng senador? Diba? Bakit? Ganyan lang pala kaliit, pero ang lifestyle ay ganito. Mm-hmm. So it's better to reconcile it, because of course some of us have spouses also or family businesses, but it's important that, especially since we are receiving public funds to pay our salaries, then it should be, and then she's right, then our senator is right, that it should be part of the disclosure.
Thank you very, very much. If my physical health allowed me, I would kowtow or bow in front of you, because that is absolutely necessary in my view in today's deleterious state of public opinion concerning the incomes of public officials, especially those elected on a national level like senators. Bakit ang yaman-yaman ng mga senador? Ang basic salary lang pala nila is 90,000 pesos a month.